At what point will you cancel your wedding? At what point will you cancel your wedding? Listen to this. It says, I cancelled our wedding. I've been the saddest woman on earth ever since I took that decision. But isn't it better? My boyfriend and I were supposed to get married 2 weeks ago. I was excited that someone was finally going to walk me down the aisle at the age of 32. After several failed relationships and being taken for granted by many men. This guy isn't perfect, but he's a great guy. He's handsome. My friends used to say it. When we first met, I said to myself that I was going to treat him like my king and make sure we ended up husband and wife. I was focused on his looks than himself because I ignored all the red flags, the constant calls, the fact that I never knew his password, and how he was always preventing me from visiting him in a house I paid for and all that. This guy never gave me anything. I was always paying the bills and making life easier for him because I wanted him to see how much I loved and cared for him. He was working too, so I felt like he was using his money for other things, since he said he had a land somewhere and was trying to build on it. Okay. When I first suggested we get married, he said he wasn't ready financially. So I took it upon myself to sponsor the whole ceremony, really. Provided he was ready and interested in marrying me, and he said yes, he was. So she took it upon herself to sponsor the whole wedding ceremony, provided the guy was interested. And the guy said, of course, I'm interested. Let's get married. Sure. So he says, I gave him 10K to get a nice engagement ring and give it to me at a dinner party before all my friends, pretending to surprise me. And he did it nicely. Though it was my money, the joy on my face that it was overwhelming. People were happy for me. Yes, so she gave the guy 10K to buy an engagement ring and surprise her with it at a dinner party. Her own money. Let's continue. He says, so I took him to see my parents and he took me to see his. Every penny we spent on all those ups and downs were from my pocket. I paid for everything concerning our wedding arrangement. Even the house we were supposed to go and live in, I rented it 3 months to the wedding and made him move there, so I joined him when we get married. The only thing he paid for was his wedding suit. I am sure that was even for my money because I used to give him the money for everything, since I didn't want people knowing I was the one paying for everything. I had over 750,000 cedis in my account when I met him. Before we started our wedding arrangement, it was left with 500,000 cedis thereabout. I gave him all that money and even borrowed 88,000 cedis from work to be deducted from my salary in bits. I did all that to make our wedding beautiful. I wanted us to have a grand wedding ceremony so people would respect my so-called man. A month to the wedding, I went to the house with some of my items and I caught him red-handed with another lady. He sent the lady away and begged me to stay. He explained his behavior and said he was sorry. It was a hard decision for me, but I forgave him and proceeded with everything. That same week, we went to the pool and I managed to get his phone. There were so many ladies. He told some he was single and told those who knew us that I was forcing things on him because of my age, which hurt me because at that point I felt it was true. He told his best man he wasn't inviting anyone to the wedding except his family because he doesn't want anyone to know he's getting married at all. They laughed over it, but it hurt me so deeply. I cried like a baby. I wanted to call off the wedding that very day, but he begged. He made my friends and even my boss call to beg me. 2 weeks to the wedding, I finally had a reason to cancel it with a teary emoji. I found out he slept with one of my friends, Faustina. I saw with my own eyes. They were caught by the CCTV. Not just that, he had a baby mama. The baby mama came to my workplace to show me pictures of them and the child, who's about 5 years old, and asked me to leave her man alone. I couldn't take it all. I wasted every penny in my account and ended up in debt. But I am still selling some of the items. I know God was already showing me the red flags and I ignored. I'm so hurt. Anytime I try to sleep, I can't. The only feeling I keep having is to go and clean. I don't know, but I am scared of myself now. I may just do it one of these days. I need a therapist, Kweku. My life is in a mess. So yes, this is a story from a 32-year-old lady who was supposed to marry last 2 weeks, but unfortunately, her man is not loyal, so she had to cancel the wedding. Meanwhile, she spent over 750,000 cedis on that man and the wedding. Let's hear what you think in the comment section.